So in less than 2 hours, President Trump will address the nation. With a primetime address, he is expected to announce a plan to combat terrorism in Afghanistan and Pakistan, which could translate to sending more troops to Afghanistan. There are currently a little bit less than 10,000 U.S. troops in the country right now. To discuss, going off script with us tonight, Siraj Hashmi, assistant editor at Red Alert Politics, and Daniel Lippman, reporter for Politico, who does the political playbook column. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us. So reports say that the president, Siraj, to you first, is going to add more troops to Afghanistan. Why would he do that?
Well, first of all, he's listening to his generals. I mean, he's surrounded by Secretary Jim Mattis, John Kelly, his chief of staff, and H.R. McMaster. And all of them have pushed him in the direction of boasting more troops into Afghanistan. It's a good sign because, Trump has been critical of the Afghanistan war previously and thinking it's a lost effort and thinking we should cut out our losses. But most military strategists agree that pulling out of Afghanistan only accelerates the fall of the Afghani government that we set up.
So why the need for more troops? What will that accomplish?
I think it would accomplish the fact that there's a serious commitment to actually trying to win the war, or at least not lose it. And so if you continue to draw down troops in Afghanistan, look what happened with Iraq. If there was a continued U.S. presence there, you would have seen Mosul not fall to ISIS. You would have seen a much better outcome there, and so they're trying to forestall a loss. President Trump does not want to be the U.S. president that loses Afghanistan.
And this would be an addition of troops there, but also kind of a shift in the strategy. The troops wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now.
Right, so we see a reduction in on-foot patrols. We'd probably see more air support, training, intelligence, and planning, things that are low risk to U.S. personnel. So we wouldn't see the type of casualties that we saw in the early 2010s, where we had over 100,000 troops under President Barack Obama.
This will inevitably be a moment for President Trump to look presidential. And I think across the political spectrum, everyone could say that at a moment like this, it's badly needed. He couldn't be accused, though, of manufacturing this moment, though, right? Because this is something that's been in the works and in the discussion for a long time.
Yeah, the generals and the U.S. military have been waiting for months for President Trump to approve this small increase in U.S. troops. And so they're finally getting what they want. I don't know if they are getting all of the troops that they, actually, fully desired, but they're getting enough that there's going to be more, success on the ground, hopefully. And there's going to be more emphasis on actually getting the Afghan government to crack down on corruption and improve governance. So it's not just going to be, here are 4,000 more troops, do whatever you want. We're going to hold the Afghan government accountable and try to get them to win over more of the districts that they've lost to the Taliban.
If, like you say, they've been waiting for months, what's taken so long?
The president has just not been ready to accept their decision. He tweeted several times the last couple of years, we should cut and run from Afghanistan. He did not see the efficacy of adding more troops. And so the generals had to convince him for months that this was the right move. And Steve Bannon was against this. And so when he left the White House, that made it easier for Trump to give in to a person like H.R. McMaster, who was very persuasive in trying to get the president on his side.
And Siraj, finally and briefly, Pakistan is a key part of this too, the president's thinking.
Right. In Pakistan, we have to hold them accountable in the same way that we hold the Afghanistan government accountable, because the Pakistani government, they're more like a frenemy. They want to help fight the war on terror, but at the same time, they're not showing enough action. Case in point with Osama bin Laden hiding in Abbottabad.
Right. Siraj Hashmi, Daniel Lippman from Politico, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming in to discuss. And again, President Trump will address the country tonight at 9 o'clock. You'll be able to watch him speak right here, CBS special coverage on WUSA 9.